Y'all, guess what? Today has really been a rough day. Well, I have got a chance to get outside in the yard, and I took the tent down. Well, as I took the tent down, the water tried to fall all over my head that was connected inside that tent. But did feel good to be able to get it down and get it out of the way. And then the sun came up, and the sun was trying to burn me up, so I had to come in here and get me something to eat. So I got myself some rice and some sardines, and that's what I had for lunch. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful afternoon to be outside, even though it was bittersweet because I had to tear down my shed. Had to tear down my canopy, but I had to tear it down because of the fact that it was an eyesore in the yard at this point. So I'm going to have to figure out what other thing I can get to put in the yard. And, I think about maybe going to Ollie's, maybe going to Lowe's, maybe going to different places and look around and see if I can find me another tent, because I have to have a tent out there in that yard because it's just so hot. And so I keep my cap on when I'm out there now, just to keep the heat off my head, because I have to go back out and finish up some more things. But I don't like to film outside a whole lot when I'm working because of the fact that, y'all, how do y'all stop y'all lens on your phone from fogging up? I've tried it several times, and sometimes I can get it right, and sometimes I just can't get it right. I just can't get it right. It's the humidity. Sometimes the humidity is not so high and I can film real good outside. But today the humidity is very high. It's humid. The lens will actually fog up and whatnot. So I decided to come on in the house and take a rest. And like I said, I had my lunch, so I decided I'd come in to take a rest, turn the camera on, and just see what y'all been doing today. What have y'all been doing with y'all day? And I thought about, as I was out there, I was thinking about how we still going through the situation of the landlords raising the rent, this type of thing. And so many people have contacted me about what to do about the rents being raised. Well, I've said it over and over again. There's really nothing you can do about somebody else's property because that belongs to them. The only thing I can tell y'all that y'all can do is begin to try to look for something cheaper to live in. Begin to try to connect with some family members and see if you can share the cost of the rent, or get yourself some roommates or whatever you need to do, because I don't see this situation getting any better no time soon. And the court system is really full, so you don't want to get yourself in no trouble by staying in somebody's unit that you cannot afford, and then cause yourself to get your credit all jacked up on top of this situation, and then that's going to make it even worse on what you're already going through. And a lot of times it's you'd be surprised how much you could accomplish by just asking somebody else, can you come move in with them? Because sometimes you'll be surprised. There could be some family that's already struggling, that's already going through, that may also need somebody to help them with the cost of the rent. Now, it's like you just got to be in a place where you can live with somebody else and you can respect somebody else's property if you're the one that's moving in. That's what they're going through. I normally would try to tell you that you got time, but truly time is running out. Time is running out. Time is of the essence. And where it comes down to these situations, as far as the uncertainty, that's the thing. It's hard to tell you exactly what to do to help you when God knows none of us know exactly how this is going to play out. We don't know how our life is going to look from here. We don't know how these situations are going to affect us all. I mean, we all are going to be affected in one way, shape, or form with what's happening in the world today. So it's like saying it's an individual. It's not a one-size-fit-all situation that we're going through. It truly is not. I mean, if you can live with somebody and there's somebody that you can help and they can help you and y'all can work together and begin to build together, I mean, just do so. I mean, you gotta have to figure out exactly what it is you really want. Sometimes you gotta swallow your pride and just go on in there and do what you need to do, what's right. I know you don't want nobody telling you what to do, but when you're moving into somebody else's property, that's just the way it is. And if they want you out, they just want you out. I mean, it doesn't matter, what you say or how you say it. The property just does not belong to you and you just have to leave. That's just simple as that. I've even gotten calls from people that decided that they were going to go live in a storage unit. They refused to pay this high rent anywhere to anybody. They refused to allow themselves to be put in a position where they have to pay thousands of dollars to live in somebody's home they would rather go live in a storage unit, which really truly can be very dangerous. Storage units can be, I know they got some that's out there climate control, but that is a very dangerous situation to put yourself into. Put yourself inside of a place that don't have no windows, nobody know you there, and you just shut the door and you going in there and you go to sleep and it's getting ready to get hot outside. I mean, it could really put your life in danger. So be careful when you're out here trying to move into these storage units. This is why I say some of you need to familiarize yourself with just being outdoors. At least outdoors, you got the circulation of the air, you got the trees you can hide up under, you got, buildings you can walk in and out of and things of that nature. But to put yourself in a storage unit, I mean, I know a lot of people is doing that, but I don't think that's safe. If you ask me, I think that's very unsafe. I mean, I'd rather go sleep in a car, have it be me, or I would rather just go pitch a tent somewhere and find a tent community and get on in there with the tent community until things begin to look better. I mean, nobody really wants to go outside, but sometimes it will teach you a lesson. Like I said, I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be outdoors. I know what it's like to not have no food. I know what it's like to not have a change of clothes. I've been there and done all this. And like I said, but before I go sleep in a storage unit, I'd rather sleep outdoors. I'd rather just sleep right outdoors in a tent. Find a tent, find a blanket, find a place where there's other people, but make sure I would rather you go where there's other people at. I mean, because if you feel like you can't live with nobody, you feel like you don't want to be a team player in nobody else's house, and you have no other options. You just have to do what you have to do, whatever's best for you, and nobody can tell you what's best for you. Again, it's not a one-size-fit-all type of a situation, but it is a situation that is going on across the board, and you're not by yourself, and there's a lot of people that's in this situation, and it's a shame that we're here and you're in America where we thought we would never see this much homelessness in a day in our life, but yet it is all across the board. Lots of people are ending up homeless. A lot of people are opting out from even paying rent or any of it. They just moving out of these places, and they rather sleep in their car, and they rather just, not pay anything at all and just go ahead and build themselves a life off to themselves. A lot of people are just going in the woods that don't even own property. And I've seen people coming and going in and out of the woods down here in South Carolina. They just going in the woods and they just making themselves a home, and they're just going to do what they feel like they need to do so that they don't feel like they're being robbed of their money. And they want to keep their money to themselves, so they would rather go sleep in the woods. I met a gentleman who says he sleeps in the woods. He gets a pension and everything, but he says he's not going to pay. He refused to pay this high rent to anybody, and end up being house poor, just paying rent to somebody while he just suffers still. And if you ask a lot of the people that are doing van life and different things, even when I was at the truck stop the other day, I talked to a lady when the camera was off, and she was saying she was doing van life, and she said she would never go back into traditional type of living because her pension was not enough to keep giving to somebody to pay some rent, wherein all she was doing was paying rent, but she never had enough money to do anything else with. So she was just sitting in the house, and she was suffering. She was being poor, just sitting in the house, not being able to function. So once she moved into her van, it was like she was able to have more money to go places, do things, plus she get to travel, plus she get to see, different states and different places that she goes to, different places where she go to park, different campsites, and she really has begun to live. And she says she really enjoys this type of life. It's a lot better than being stuck in a place where you just cannot move and you cannot function, and you got the weight of the bills coming down on you. Every time you get a paycheck, it's gone before you get it, and you see yourself going further in the hole like that. So she says she really believes that it's a lot better, and there's going to be a lot more people that would rather take it to the street and take it out on the road or do whatever they have to do and leave these buildings empty, because of the fact the cost of being in these homes is getting ready to cost them way too much money. It's causing them anxiety, stress, and it's not living. It's really not living. It's actually being house poor, and they're sick of it. They're sick of giving their all and ending up with nothing in return. It's just like saying all they're doing is giving, and nothing's being given back to them in the process. And they even go to say the housing market has been a ripoff for many years. It's just a ripoff because the American people are steady paying, but yet they're steady suffering. They're paying and they're ending up with nothing for themselves. It's just give, while the renters and the higher ups take. And the people that are out here working these 40-hour-a-week jobs, they're getting nothing in return. They feel like they're just stuck. There's never enough money to do nothing with. So what y'all think about it? Chime in on this situation and see exactly what you think people should do in this hour where it comes down to not having enough money to pay for these places. I mean, what do you think people should do? People are actually taking it to the woods. They're actually going live in storage units. They're actually putting up tents, and they refuse to live in a building in America. Can you believe that we're here? We're at this time in our life where we're actually seeing this type of thing happen so much over and over again. So many people are homeless. So many people are displaced. And it's sad. It's really a sad thing to see because, I mean, this is something that I thought I would never see this much of, but it is really getting to be bad. So if you stayed this long, I got to get back outside and get back to work. But if you stayed this long, I had to take my break. Please subscribe to the channel. We like to uplift, motivate, and inspire. We're on a journey to 10K over here, and we're headed that way. We got over 3,000, y'all. We pushing, and we putting in that work. And if you haven't turned your notification bell on, please turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when I drop my next video. I love y'all. Be blessed.